Do you love floral patterns? I know, what a question. If you're anything like me, the answer is yes, yes, yes. And this project is going to be for you, this floral project. We're going to flip an OG and then we're going to create a pattern that you can use for digital and print on demand products. To get started, we're going to need a couple things. We're going to need the most current version of Procreate, your iPad, and your Apple Pencil. And then we're going to be using the Flower Power and Pattern Power freebies that you can get from my site at bit.ly/from Liz. Or you can use the Scan Me code here to download those freebies. Three things before we start. We're going to be using a 12 by 12 inch canvas at 300 dpi for our project, and that translates out to 3600 pixels by 3600 pixels. Next, I would love to see your patterns, and if you'd like to share them, please share them at Instagram with the hashtag DigiWithLiz. Next, you can check your patterns to see if they're seamless at my site. Go to bit.ly/check-tile. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. All right, in step one, we're going to make our tile for our brushes. I have a 12-inch canvas at 300 dpi, so 12 inch by 12 inch, which makes it 3600 pixels by 3600 pixels. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to come over to my colors. I'm just going to double tap down in the dark colors to get black. And then I'm going to go over to Pattern Power, and we're going to choose this traditional OG right there. Actually, yeah, the traditional one. Okay, and then we're going to just tap in the center here, and then we're going to tap our transform tool, and we want to rotate this 45 twice, and then we want to fit to canvas just like that. Okay, and now we're ready to draw our drawing here. The first thing I'm going to do is come over and create a new layer on top, and then I'm just going to use the colors that I'm to help me kind of distinguish what I want to create for the pattern itself. So I'm going to just go ahead and choose a nice green color, and then I'm going to come over to the Flower Power set. It's another freebie on my site, and I will leave links in the description below. Okay, so I'm going to start with leaves, daisies, and cosmos. Those are also for our stems too. So starting with that one, let's draw this down to about, well, actually I'm going to say about 4. And then I'm going to come over to my wrench, and I'm going to go ahead and tap Canvas, Drawing Guide, Edit Drawing Guide, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring this all the way up so I get a nice middle line so I can see what's going on. And in a moment we're going to change that just a tad bit, but for the moment this is perfect. So just take the size all the way up so that you get it broken up into quadrants. And if you need to, you can go ahead and bring up the thickness so you can see the line a little better, or even the opacity to bring the thickness up a little bit. So done when you're satisfied. Okay, so now I can just go ahead and draw a line along the center line here, and then I'm just going to hold. Not great at drawing lines. Here we go. Okay, I love the smart shapes. There we go. That's perfect. Want this right in the center, just like that. Okay, and I think I'm going to bring this down this little, it gets a little thinner at top where I started there. And I think I'm going to put a nice big bloom right at the top. And let's see, I'm going to have some leaves coming off of this, and maybe I'll bring this up just a little bit too. So something like that. That's about where I want this. Okay, and then when I'm satisfied, I can tap out in the workspace. Now, we're going to go back to our wrench, back to Canvas, Drawing Guide, and Edit Drawing Guide. And now, we're going to go ahead and tap Symmetry. And then we're going to open up the options. And I want to go with this vertical symmetry and assisted drawing. And so this will make things repeat on both sides. Basically, it'll be a mirror horizontally with this vertical selected like that. So I'm going to go ahead and tap Done. And Done. All right, and now I'm going to start playing with, I think I'm going to make some leaves first at the bottom here. So I'm going to bring up my leaf size to somewhere around 49–50%, and we're going to start with the center leaf here, just like that. Or leaf, yeah, that's right, leaf. Sometimes I get confused. All right, petals and leaves, I don't know why. Okay, so now we're going to do one on the side here, just like that. Okay, and because of the symmetry, it's making it all nice and mirrored side to side, and that's what we want. Okay, now before I continue on with some of the other shapes that I want to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a bloom up top here. So it's going to be a different color, so I'm going to create a new layer above my assisted green layer. I'm going to tap it to open up the layer menu, and I'm going to go ahead and select Drawing Assist for this layer as well. And then I'm going to go choose a nice kind of pinkish carnation color. This is the DigiArts with Liz Favorites palette you can get for free at my website, and I will again leave a link in the description below. And once I have that color selected, I'm going to go back over to my brushes, and this time I'm going to select the Peonies and More. And let's see, I think I'm just trying to decide what size, probably somewhere around 85 or 4, somewhere in there. Alright, so now with my Peonies and More and my pink, I'm going to go ahead and just rest my hand on here, and I'm going to draw a flower. So we're going to start with the petals out to the side like that, and like that. And just kind of play along with it. I love this brush because it has sort of a little bit of unpredictability because of the way it interacts with each brush stroke. So that's a really cool looking flower. You can of course do it however you'd like. Let's go back now to our green assisted layer, and we're going to go back to the green we used before, and I'm going to go back to Leaves, Daisies, and Cosmos, and I'm going to bring the brush size down again to somewhere around 5 or 3%. We're just going to do that again. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring things out a bit. So I kind of want the shape to be this way. So let's go ahead and just kind of get started doing that. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring it in like that, and then something like that. And I think I'm going to put a bloom. Whoops, I don't like that jaggy edge. I'm going to put a bloom out there, so I'm going to just bring it and hold it so I can play with the arc a little bit, just like that. And we're going to put a little like a bud right in there. And then I think I want another shape right in there. Whoops, shape right in there, another flower perhaps. So I'm going to go ahead and go like this. And then I think I want some more leaves in here. So let's go ahead and bring this up again. This time I think more like about 40%. So we're just going to draw some leaves. Whoops, that's not quite what I wanted. Something like that. Okay. Ooh, these are kind of cool. I'm liking it. All right, and then I want some leaves that come up this way too. And then something that kind of attaches to her. Yeah, ooh, I like that. Okay, that's pretty good for now. So now I'm going to go back and make some more buds, and this is kind of an iterative process in that we go back and forth from the green to the red. So back to the red layer, back to the peony brush, and back to our pink color there. And let's see, I'm going to bring the size down just a bit, to about 65%. Something like that. Let's see. That's more of a bud. And see, do I want to, yeah, I think I want something here too. Like that. I know, just keep building it as you go. I'm trying to think if I want another one someplace, like maybe right in here. So let's see, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will always have we can have an odd number now because we've got this one at the top, but let's see, we've got 6, so I'll have 8, it'll have 9 total if I add another. Yeah, let's go ahead and add another one. 9. Okay. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, now we're going back to the green layer and back to our leaves and daisies. I'm going to bring that down to about 3% again. And we need to select our green color here. And I'm just going to bring this in like that. Awesome. All right, and I'm thinking some more leaves, maybe bigger. I don't know, we're going to play around with this. I'm not really sure yet what I really would like, so that's too big. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of feel like I want something in like there, and maybe even here. Okay, so I really am liking the way this looks. Okay, I think I want to do something right there. Maybe something right there. This is really having a good shape now. But I'm kind of wondering down here, like I almost feel like I want a circle right there. And I'm not sure. Let's try the circle first as kind of a smart shape and see what we can do here. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Something like that. Just not really sure. I'm not really sure. Okay, if I go, oh, I like that. Okay, that's kind of in opposition. That's kind of cool. Okay, so this is the shape that we have basically. So now what I want to do is I'm going to turn off the drawing assist here for both of these layers. And then, let's see, we're going to go ahead and group these two layers, just like that. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and create a duplicate of the group. And we're going to take this duplicate, and I think we're going to go ahead and select our Move and Transform tool, but I think I'm going to flip it. So let's go ahead and flip vertical, and then we're going to move this one right over here, and we want it to be on the half and the half. So we're going to be looking for golden lines going away from the corner. We just drop that when we have it. Okay, it's kind of interesting in the black too. Like, ooh, I'm not sure if I want to keep the black. I just might. So just kind of playing around. I wasn't intending to originally, so we're going to try it. We're going to look at this both ways. Okay, so now I want another duplicate of the original group here, and then I'm going to move it over to this corner. And oh, I forgot to flip it, so let's go ahead and flip it vertically. Okay, and then we're just going to line it up, dot and dot that are center, and we want the golden lines going away from the corner, just like that. Okay, actually we're going to have two more, so duplicate that again, and we're going to bring it, and flip it vertically, and then bring this down and over. Okay, just like that. That's nice. I really like the way this is looking, how it's working with the other piece of it. Okay, one more of the original duplicate here, and then let's go ahead and flip it, and then move it down. Okay. Awesome. Golden lines going away. We know we're good. Okay, so now we have something that we can test. I am really digging this black, though. I'm just kind of wondering. Okay, let's take a look at it this way and also without the black. So we're going to go ahead and select our top layer here. Go over to our wrench, and then we're going to select Add, Copy Canvas, and Paste. And this will take all of the layers onto one that are visible onto one and create a nice little composite up here. And then let's go over to our three dots at top of tap the ellipsis, and then tap Split View. And then we're going to go over to my website, which is digiartswithliz.com. And then we're going to select the tools and pattern checker, which will take you to this page right here. And it creates a nice little 2x2 block so that you can see what the block repeat would look like. So taking this upper layer here, just drag and drop it. And you can see what that is kind of cool, but I still think I want it without the black and white. So let's go ahead and we're going to delete this top layer over here, and we're going to turn off the visibility of that layer, and then we're going to come over to modify our wrench, copy canvas, and paste. And oops, it probably just, okay, perfect. Let's clear that, and then let's drag this new one in and see what we think of this. Oh yeah, see, I like that. This is the one I'm going to go with. We're going to make two brushes so that you can control the colors of your design here and use it inside of Procreate. And that is step 2 in making the seamless patterns. Okay, now in step 2, we're going to turn that art into brushes. Let's go ahead and delete this top image here. That was our test image. We've created all of our layers, and the greens are on separate layers from the reds, which is what we want for making brushes. Okay, so now with this created this way, let's go ahead and select our first green brush, and then gently slide and drop the other green brushes like that, so that we select all of our green brushes together. And once they're all selected like that, you can go ahead and tap Group, and then you can tap that new group name twice, and you'll get the group menu, and you can tap Flatten, and now they're all on one layer. And now let's go ahead and select the first red layer here and do that with all of the reds, just like that, and then tap Group, and then with that new group you can tap it twice, and you can also tap Flatten. And then let's go ahead and select all these other new groups, not this one because that's our colors, and we're going to go ahead and delete them, and you can just say yes, delete. Okay, so now we have everything the way we want it, and we're ready to make our brushes. I like to keep the colors just as is, so I can always go back. And so what I'm going to do is create a duplicate here, And then I'm going to make invisible the original with the colors. Okay, and now let's focus on the first brush here, the green layer, and we're going to go over to, so select it, and then go over to our adjustments panel, and we're going to select hue and saturation and brightness, and we're going to bring that saturation all the way down, just like that. All right, and then we're going to go over to our blooms, our red layer, and we're going to do the same thing. So select it, come over to hue, the adjustments, hue, saturation, brightness, and dial the saturation all the way down. Okay, so now let's make invisible that bloom layer, just like that. And then let's go over to pattern power, and we're going to select, let's go with the smallest size here, the grain 26%, for a 6,266 pixel by 6,266 pixel canvas. So let's go ahead and create a duplicate of this one just by gently sliding it to the left and tapping duplicate. Okay, and then with this with your green layer selected, come over to the wrench, and it's not green anymore, but your leafy one. Select add and then copy canvas, and then we're going to go over to our duplicate here and tap it. Oops, so that it opens. You might have to tap it twice. And the grain is the image that needs replacing, so you tap grain and then edit and then import and paste. And if it comes in looking like this, just use 2 fingers to invert it so that your leaves are all gray like this, and that's what you want. And then go ahead and tap done. And now if you notice, these are just very bright, which is it's a fine style choice, but that's not what we want. We want it to be a little bit more transparent in quality, so a little bit more watercolory. So we're going to go over to rendering and then tap light glaze. And once you have that done, you can go ahead and tap done to come out. Okay, now this is prepared the way that we want it. So we're going to go ahead and create a duplicate of that. So gently slide it to the left and then tap duplicate. And now let's go to our group here that we've turned gray, and we're going to turn off that bottom layer, the leafy layer, and we're going to turn on the visibility of our blooms. And now we're going to go over to our wrench, add, and copy canvas. Okay, and then we're going to tap our brush that we just created, the duplicate, and we're going to go to grain, edit, import, and paste. And now our blooms are here just as we want them, and we tap done. And since we've already taken care of rendering and we just duplicated the brush, we don't have to worry about duplicating this again. So let's go ahead and tap done. Okay, now it is time to test our brushes inside of Procreate. These are for seamless brushes that work within Procreate. So let's go ahead and go to our layers here, and we're going to turn off the visibility of that group, and then we're going to create a new layer on top. And so let's go ahead and choose a nice bright green and test out our green leaves there and just see, oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, I like this already a lot. I know that we created this with a nice bright red color, but let's go ahead and try, like, I don't know, some sort of this yellow, maybe make it even more a darker yellow here. And then, oops, not that one, this one. And select our blooms. And oh my goodness, I love that. You know, it makes me think of, I want purple instead. I know, that's crazy. Okay, so let's go down to purple, like maybe a bluey purple, something like that. Ooh, yeah, I think that might be nice. Oh, yes. Okay, well, anyway, you could play all day, and I just might. But inside of Procreate, this is a set of seamless brushes that we just made for creating a seamless tile. And let me just demonstrate, this is not a seamless tile. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we go to our little the ellipsis, that's hard for me to say. The top, we can select our split view, and we can go over to our pattern checker here, and if you go to digiartswithliz.com and select tools, there's a pattern checker, and it takes you to this page, and it's just a 2x2 pattern repeat, a block repeat for this your patterns to see how they work. And so we can just take that layer that we've just tested and bring it over here just to make sure, and you can see it definitely has seams, which is, you know, what we would expect, because this is not made with it has the correct scale, but it doesn't have the correct size canvas to actually create a seamless tile with a repeat. In step 3, we're going to get rid of those seams so that we have something that we can print. I have a 12 by 12 inch tile, but that's not what I'm going to use in the end here. So ultimately, I'm going to look at my brushes here that I've created that are the grain size of the brush. Here, let's tap one open just so you can see. The grain size of the brush is kind of the significant piece here, and it goes together with a canvas size. Okay, and the brush itself, made the way that I instruct you to create them, will tell you what size canvas you need. A canvas size of 6,266 pixels square. So let's go ahead and go over to our wrench here. So 6266, that's what we want to do. And we're going to go to select canvas and then crop and resize. And then we're going to come over to settings, and we're going to go ahead and hit resample too, but we're going to go 6266. Okay, and that's the size we want. And so when we're done, just go ahead and tap done. And now it's making it big enough for us. So 6266 is what I used. And now we can use our brushes to create the pattern we want. So let's go ahead and choose some nice colors that we want for our seamless tile. I'm going to go ahead and choose this green for the green layer here. And I'm going to go ahead and keep these on separate. Ooh, that is neat. Separate layers. Now let's create a new layer here, and let's go ahead and use, I don't know, I think I'm just going to go ahead with that nice sort of a sharp pink color here and change the brush right there to the blooms, and then we can go ahead and put that on just like that. Okay, so this is our pattern. And this is the tile. Let's double check and make sure that we did this right by going into, let's tap the top bar. When you see the three dots, which is the ellipsis, then you can go ahead and tap it to get the menu and select split screen. Okay, and then we're going to go to digiartswithliz.com. Under Tools, Pattern Checker, we're going to go to our drag and drop pattern checker, and it's a 2x2. A seamless block repeat, so you can see if this worked or not. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to need to create a composite of this. So we're going to go ahead and go over to modify, tap our wrench, tap add, copy canvas, and paste. Okay, and that creates a composite. And then we're just going to take that composite and drop it right on top there, just to make sure that we don't have any seams. And you know, we can make this a little bit bigger just so we can really look in there and see what it looks like. All right, now that you have a perfect pattern, the only thing you have to do next is sort of figure out how you want to use the pattern. But before I close out this tutorial, I just wanted to say that I really love using brushes to create patterns in Procreate. With the brushes, you can change the scale, the color, you can change the background color too, so you get this tremendous versatility as long as you're pairing the brush scale with the right size canvas. I really do love making patterns for print on demand and digital products this way, and I hope that you enjoy that too, and that you've found this tutorial useful. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope your day is amazing.